4 in a row.
That's right. Hey, what do you say?
I have one game ball right now, okay? I already talked about defense, 4 turnovers, okay? Defense, 44 yards on the ground, all right? Defense, 4 sacks. Dennis Allen, come
Welcome to another episode of the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan. Stepping in for our host, Pay.
Who
Got
is
Tiff on an
gallivanting
episode
somewhere doing something.
with the all
Happy.
watchful eye on us. It's a happy Monday review. We got a win. 650. So we start with our usual reviews, the good, bad, and ugly. We're gonna hop right into it. Tiff, you got a good for us? There should be plenty of good.
It's plenty of good. So I'm going to leave something for you. So I'm just going to take, in general, I'm going to say the defense. Because coming out of that game, anyone who watched it would have to say the number one good thing was our defense, pretty much from top to bottom. They played lights out in the first quarter. Montez, once again, he kind of showed up and had his name called several times. He knocked out the ball that we recovered. Brisker was making plays. Kyler was making plays. He caused the fumble. Dexter recovered it. Like, we just had a bunch of players out there playing well. Nashawn Wright had the interception and the run back for like 40 yards. We had like 3 or 4 sacks. Byard had a pick. He should have had another one, but unfortunately he had a collision with Nashawn, which kind of knocked the ball out of his hands. Edmund with the sack towards the end of the game. We just had a lot of great plays on defense. Now, there were a few times where they were a little, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit in a few minutes. But overall, I've got to say my good from that game was our defense.
I'm mad you took the whole defense for your good because
I mean, there's more good than that.
I was going to highlight specific areas of the defense, but that's fine. I am going to go with an unheralded name, but Kyle Monangai. I really liked the way he ran. He was efficient with his carries. I think 13 carries, 81 yards. I know DeAndre Swift was kind of the star of the show, had 100+ yards and a touchdown. Did Kyle score?
He did. His first touchdown of his career. Because remember, on the first play, they said he didn't get there, and on the next play, he ran it in for his first touchdown.
Yeah, I thought he got a rushing touchdown. I thought he ran hard, north-south. I think he is a very good contrast, a change of pace to DeAndre Swift. He's a guy that runs really well in between the tackles. Even he's a smaller guy, he runs with a lot of balance, with a lot of power, very physical. I think he runs with better vision. I think Swift is a better athlete. So, of course, when you get him on the edges, he's going to make those explosive plays. But I think Kyle Monangai is exactly what this running game needs. When it's maybe not there, you need a guy just to get forward progress, get 1 or 2 yards, and not get stopped at the line of scrimmage for a negative. So I think Kyle Monangai was a very unheralded guy, and I think, I'm going to go with him for my good.
He did a lot of falling forward. I was happy for him, too.
Did a lot of falling forward. I want to see him get more touches in the future.
If we keeping it honest, the running game was probably the only positive and good on the offensive side of the ball.
Let's save it. Let's save it. You one of them people that like to tell the movie before others go see it.
No, because I didn't even watch it.
You're the reason why I gotta see all the Marvel movies the day they get released. You're gonna be online over there spoiling it, talking about what Thanos did. Oh my God, Black Panther did. No.
I'm the last person who's gonna spoil a movie because I don't watch movies. So I'm not gonna spoil no TV shows or movies because you're gonna be mad at me all the movies I hadn't seen.
So let's get to the bad. I hate that we do good, bad, ugly on wins. There should be like a good, better, and maybe bad, because I can't do 2 bad things on a win. There's just not enough winning to go. No, because there's not enough winning to go around in Chicago.
Yeah, you being real optimistic now. This was a very ugly win, so let's not act like there was not.
Hey, listen,
my view,
a W is a W. A W is a W.
I like to find. And we're happy because this year is the first year that these ugly is going to win. Usually, when it's an ugly, and we end up on the losing end. So I'm happy, but there is plenty to talk about. At least maybe I'm being the pessimistic one today, but I had some ugly.
You're always the pessimistic one, and I'm sure I know you're bad and ugly. Um, I'm gonna have to talk to the show tyrant, I mean producer, and
Oh,
see if
he's
we
gonna
can
come
get this
in
good, bad,
a minute.
ugly.
Why didn't you guys stick to
Yeah.
the format? Do what I've told you to do.
Sorry, buddy. You
That
should have
sounds
been here.
that
Wanted us.
sounds exactly like him. That is exactly how he sounds. So let's get to the bad. What was your bad for the day?
You know what? Since I took yours or I took too big of a category last time, I'm gonna defer to you and allow you to go first with your bad.
Okay. I'm going to for my bad. Let's see, I was gonna do what you did. For my bad, it's hard because I don't know if I want this to be my bad or my ugly.
Hmm. Okay.
For my bad, I'm gonna go with Caleb Williams. Um,
Mm. I know that hurt your heart. That's why it took you so long to get it out. Cause you like,
I was actually going to make him the ugly. But yeah, for my bad, I'm gonna have to go with Caleb Williams. It was just coming off the heels of a week where he was up and down, missed some guys. He missed more guys. This was easily his worst performance of the season. Uh, the pick, I don't know if that was the first or second quarter, to Roma Dunze was awful. He literally, from the second he received the snap, he stared Rome down. These are NFL corners. If you telegraph it that bad, they're going to jump that route every time. So my bad was Caleb because he struggled with his accuracy again. Think he did have a couple throws over 20 yards, but I think once again, I think the majority of the throws over 20 yards were, catch and run type things. I think DeAndre Swift busted one open. I think he had another one downfield to DJ, kind of a catch and run thing where he got over 20 yards, but he really got carried today by the run game and the defense. Not only was he inaccurate, but he just didn't seem very poised. And then it seemed like once again he wasn't seeing the field. It seemed like a regression towards last year where he took a couple sacks where it's like, dude, get rid of the ball, be decisive. Either run, you're an athletic guy. There was a couple times where he ran out of the pocket and he's pointing down the field. He's doing this, he's doing that, and it ends up an incomplete. Dude, get up the field, get us some positive yards. You don't have to do the Mahomes or Rodgers thing every time or really any time. Be efficient. That's what Ben Johnson wants. You see where this offense is going to, what it lends itself to. You see Jared Goff right now operating the offense real smooth, not doing any heroics. Do the simple things, Caleb. Get the check downs, get the runs, um, throw the ball out of bounds. Don't take the sacks. In a game against an inferior opponent, this was way too close. This was the game where we should have blown the doors off of them, and by halftime should have been making plans for next week and seeing when we can pull our starters. This shouldn't have been a game where it came down to the last quarter. The Saints played like a team, and Spencer Rattler gave the ball up a few times. Saints played like a team that were ready to get blown out today, and Caleb was like, "No, no, you're going to be competitive. I'm rooting for you." So
Yeah.
that was my bad. And after he listened to myself talk, he really should be my ugly. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Tiff, with your bad.
I mean, you've convinced me. I wasn't even going to mention Caleb at all, but you kind of convinced me because, like you said, that game should have been a blowout. And it was looking like it was going that way. But then Caleb said, no, we got to give our fans a heart attack every week. So what can I do? And like you said, I agree that, like, time and time again, we said he's got to learn when the play is over, right? We don't want to take all his magic away. He has an ability to escape. There were a ton of amazing escapes in that game, but against a better defender, a better team, it doesn't go that way. And those are the plays where we get the huge losses, where we get the fumble sacks, where we get the disastrous plays. So yes, Caleb, we want you to be able to have your magic and scramble and make things happen, but you got to know when the play is over. You got to throw the ball out of bounds. You got to stop holding the ball to the last second and getting rocked on the sidelines. Like, these are plays that are just, he's not using his head, and they can cost us in the long run. But That was not my bad. I didn't even have Caleb on my list this time. My bad. And this could be bad or ugly because we talk about this every single week. So we really could just drop in a clip from the last show. Penalties were insane. At one point, they said when we were about 2 minutes left to go in the half, they said the Saints had 4 first downs, and 3 of them were because of penalties. Now, of course, we know how the end of the half went. So at the end, they had 7 first downs, but 3 of them were by penalties. How ridiculous is that you're absolutely locking a team down? You've got defenders flying everywhere, interceptions, this, that, and the third, but we keep giving them first downs because of our penalties. Also, on the offensive side of the ball, we saw some ridiculous looking penalties. One of them actually ended up helping us. The false start ended up helping us in the long run, where we were able to kick the field goal because of it. But these mental errors week in and week out, and I know the coaching staff is on the team. False starts. How are we false starting every single week? How are we not learning how to line up these mental error penalties? These ridiculous roughing the passer calls. We know we got a cheap one on Montez last week for hitting the helmet. Why did we do it again this game? It's like we were shutting them down. Then we had, was it Brisker who had the roughing the pass or whatever it was? We had them off the field on third down. Here we come with the penalty, giving them life again. So it's like a broken record. I don't know what they can do to get this team to stop penalizing themselves because they're shooting themselves in the foot. And again, against a better team, against a better opponent, if we are to make it to the postseason, that shit matters.
We're 4-2. Once again, we were 4-2 last year. I feel better about this 4-2 for the fact that I think we have a better staff, we have better leadership, but there's lots of things to clean up. Like this isn't going to cut it, and we are heading to Baltimore next week, and I know they're 1-5, but I don't think they're a typical 1-5 team. I think they're going to get Lamar back. I think they're going to get Roquan back. They've lost some heartbreakers. They took the Bills to the last second. Well, actually, no. They just they coughed up the game against the Bills. They coughed up the game against the Lions. And the Lions were a team that blew us out. So you look at the Ravens' early season competition where they were probably at their healthiest. They could have won either of those 2 games. So you get Lamar back, fresh off another MVP season. They're going to be very desperate coming in here or coming into Baltimore 1-5. You absolutely cannot afford to play as sloppy as you did against the Saints or even the Commanders. I think the Ravens are a better team than the Commanders when they're firing on all cylinders. You can't afford that, and you're not going to get a win. And then the Bengals, after that, they're playing much better defense. Joe Flacco, while he's not Joe Burrow, he's a guy with a explosive arm. He's a guy that can get the ball to Jamar Chase. So you're gonna have to be a lot more disciplined. For my ugly, and I don't know if I'm being too picky. Maybe this should have been my bad. I don't want to say this is really my ugly, but for the sake of the show, the pass rush improved a lot. We saw Montez Sweat get home. We saw Dominique Robinson be disruptive. And then we saw Brisker get home twice. I like that Dennis Allen is dialing up the blitzes. I do. However, this is one of those things where it's working against some lesser teams. This probably is not going to be something you want to do against a Lamar Jackson who can get outside the pocket or just as a guy who can beat the blitz on his own arm, his own acumen. He's high IQ. Joe Flacco has seen everything. The man has been playing since we were playing PlayStation 2. He's been in the league. He knows all your coverages. He knows all the blitzes. He's seen Dennis Allen, I'm sure, several times. So I'm not sure you want to keep dialing up blitzes against these guys, against these more established quarterbacks to get pressure. So maybe I'm being a little bit picky, but my ugly is still having a blitz, not being able to get consistent pressure with the front four. So I thought there was a couple times where Spencer Rattler was able to sit in the pocket a little too long, specifically on that deep throw to Chris Olave. That route took too long to develop. I know Tyreek got beat, but at the same time, you're asking your corners for a lot to defend a guy in man. And Tyreek was in man against Olave. And Olave is a first-round pick. He's had some good season. So I'm not sure if he's been to a Pro Bowl, but he's a guy that's been on the cusp, on the brink of it. That's a tough cover for anybody. I don't care if you're Patrick Surtain. Being on that island going up against a receiver like that and the defense not getting this pressure is a recipe for disaster. So that is my ugly for now.
Yeah, and mine, we're it was a win, so we're kind of digging in deep to get these uglies. But mine was the team's focus. Like at times, like the end of the halves, I don't know why we let our foot off the gas and stop paying attention at the end of halves. It's happened season after season, game after game. And I get the defense frustration. They had just stopped them on fourth down. They're thinking they're done for the half. Then the offense can't do anything. The Saints get the ball back, and what do? They drive down the field and score a touchdown, not a field goal, a touchdown. So it's like we lost our focus at the end of the half and let them score. Then another thing which was focused to me, what the hell was going on with the handoffs between Caleb and the center? I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Dalman, what are you doing? I get it. It's raining. It's
Let the
wet.
ball go.
Let the ball go. Like, then you know what I'm saying? Then you had the other time where it was just a fumble. Like, it was just too much going on, which to me is like our attention to detail. And that can be, roped in with the penalties as well. It's like our attention to detail every week. We got to hone in on that because it's just like, again, we can get away with this against these teams that are kind of reeling or they've got injuries or they're not that great. But once we start playing these desperate Ravens who are coming out of a bye, who need a win bad, or these other teams, the Bengals the same way. Now they got their swag back. They beat, the Steelers. They may be feeling themselves. Like, we cannot make these mental mistakes, especially when we get up big and the vibe is going well. And we can't lean back on thinking, well, these last couple weeks, we've actually won the games we usually lost, so we probably will next time. No, we need to put our foot on the gas, run up the score, and stop letting teams come back.
I think it's definitely a testament that they're able to win these style of games, these ugly games, because under Eberflus, we weren't winning a lot of those. We were losing. We were losing every sort of way. But yeah, to your point, we're coming up to. I wouldn't say this is the rough part of the schedule, but you're going to be playing Philly soon. You're going to be playing the Packers twice. You got the Lions again. You got the Vikings again. And the Giants aren't as bad as we thought they were going to be. I mean, Jackson Dart and Scatterboo have definitely
score. Can we score enough to keep up with them?
Exactly. And they're injecting some life into the Giants. I know they took an ugly one yesterday. That was ugly. They're a young team. They just didn't close that game out. But we're also a young team, and we haven't shown the ability to close that game out. So I just don't want them to have slip-ups against a team like the Giants. The Ravens could easily come in. We could easily go into Baltimore and get a very focused Ravens and lose, and I wouldn't be mad at that. A very focused Ravens team is a tough team. We can easily run into the Bengals.
I'd like us to win, but we could. That's why we got to be locked in and not make those silly mistakes that we've made against these past teams, because Baltimore is going to be hungry. They are going to be, they're desperate. They are really desperate. So we've got to be aware of that and be on our P's and Q's. And we got to start putting up more than 22, 23, 24, 25 points. Like, we love the defense can hold people, but damn it, let's run the score up for once.
Well, the one thing that I do have to say that I'm grateful of, I think the Bears are the only team this season that has scored over 21 points in every single game.
I did see that. So that's something to be proud of. Now let's just get it. Well, 20. I think 25 has been our limit. No, we got 30. We got 31 against Dallas.
How about them Cowboys?
All right. Anything else you want to address before we wrap it up?
Nah, we're headed in the right direction. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of Ben and how he's got the boys excited and ready to go. So let's just continue to bear down.
Bear down. Bear claws up.
No.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Cherry.